Warner Brothers is bringing even more distinguished competition back to Hall H at Comic-Con. Can they keep the Wonder Woman hype train going? We're 3 men at a table, and this is Screen Junkies News.
Brought to you by the new Samsung Chromebook Plus, the first Chromebook made for Google Play.
Warner Brothers is bringing a host of films to their big Hall H panel at Comic-Con this week, including Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One and the long-awaited sequel to Blade Runner. But, I mean, let's be real, what fans are really kind of just frothing at the mouth over at this point is DC movie news. Warner has a massive hit on their hands with Wonder Woman, and they'll be looking to keep that hype train a-rolling with the whole Justice League cast in attendance and a first look at the hotly anticipated Aquaman movie. But what else could be in store? Here to break it down with me are DJ Wooldridge and Adam Hlavik. Hey, boys.
Yay! Comic-Con!
Yay!
Can't wait to be over. What? No.
Oh, wow. So, guys, we're starting at Comic-Con where we said the sentence highly anticipated Aquaman footage. How's that feel?
It feels good.
It does.
It makes me excited that we live in a world that's not even like ironically excited for an Aquaman movie. There's legitimate reasons to be excited. Jason Momoa looks great in the role. Yeah. James Wan is a very talented director.
He looked amazing in the Justice League trailer.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. So it's like we're getting Mira. Like there's a lot to, and with Wonder Woman, this was a standalone movie outside of what DC had been doing that really took off, and Aquaman has the potential to do the same thing.
Yeah, it's like a sort of funny feeling, climb the rope in gym class sort of weird thing, but I'm starting to accept it.
Yeah.
Well, I think the cool thing about Aquaman too is he's such a unique character. Apart from all the other ones, he lives underwater in this Atlantean city. So I think I'm interested to see what James Wan does with that. He's going to bring his horror skill sets into a story that can be horror based on which of the Aquaman comics you read. So I'm really intrigued to see what they do.
Water is scary.
What weird, scary water stuff do you guys think we're going to see from Aquaman or Justice League FLH?
Following trends, which is what I like to do every year because it's kind of the best way to kind of figure out what certain studios are going to do. Last year, we got a Justice League 2-minute trailer. That was about a year and a half out. We're now a year and a half from the Aquaman movie, so it makes sense that they're going to put something together that is going to be special for Hall H. Hopefully they will also put that online because I think we always talk about we're kind of past the time of things being exclusive for Hall H because it'll get out there no matter what.
I mean, they're live streamed at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think it would be really cool if we got obviously Atlantis, we see Aquaman, Mira. We'll probably hopefully get our first look at Patrick Wilson's Ocean Master, maybe even Black Manta.
I would like to see Black Manta.
Yeah, Black Manta would be dope.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I've always thought Black Manta is one of those characters that is a little bit more iconic to me than the hero he faces.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see him being included in the DCU. I'm excited to see what his costume looks like.
Ooh.
So I'm hopeful.
I got a friend working on Aquaman.
What?
Oh.
Give me the details.
Sounds dope.
Get us some spoiler insider tips.
I got those, but I can't share them on air.
All right.
In terms of Justice League, I think it's the appropriate time to put out a new trailer.
Yeah, probably.
The last trailer came out in what was it, March or April or something?
Yeah.
So it's been a few months, and I think this is the perfect time to really, I think Comic-Con will be the beginning of their major push.
Yeah. Maybe shows what Steppenwolf looks like.
Yeah. I mean, because now we're starting to see glimpses of him as in Lego form and toy form. I'm like, just give us the real thing.
But here's the thing. It's hard for me to get excited about that because this is about the point where I start to bail on trailers. Like, hey, after you've done 2, I'm like, I stop watching them.
Same.
Yeah, I don't want to watch them anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to be too spoiled for
Everyone's
the movie.
like, TV spots. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, TV spots are the worst out of all of them.
Everything.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit more excited for Aquaman than Justice League because it's so close now. It's like I can wait for that movie to release, and I'm excited to just let it wash over me.
Yeah. So we have the whole cast showing up. Is there anything you want to see from that? Do you want to see Snyder and Whedon there? Do you want to see the whole cast just reenact the current trailer?
I've always said my big thing with the Warner Brothers, and we talked about it a little bit, is they haven't been as theatrical with their presentations. Last year I was really let down by Conan O'Brien. I love Conan O'Brien. I think he's amazing, but I don't think he has that. I don't think he had that energy that you need. They got Chris Hardwick this year. When he's done the Warner Brothers panels previously, he's gotten really great energy. I wish that Warner Brothers and DC would kind of make it a more theatrical event. I'd love to see somebody come out in costume.
Yeah.
If like Jason Momoa shows up as Aquaman or Ezra Miller as the Flash, I think that could bring a lot of really good
that could be
positive
really
energy.
big. I do remember there were a few years ago when I think it's the biggest example of this. Marvel did that big fan event where they it was the first time they showed like the whole phase timeline.
Yeah.
Like here's Civil War, and then DC. The DC slate was revealed on a Warner
conference
Brothers
call.
conference shareholders call, and that is still sort of the comparison I make between these Hall H presentations. Like Warner Brothers often still feels like, and here's our PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah,
There's some cool stuff in it.
Yeah,
But you gotta give me some pizzazz.
I wonder if what that comes from is even with this panel, this is not a DC panel.
Right.
This is
I think
a
that's part of the
Warner Brothers
problem.
panel.
Yeah.
And so Warner Brothers is about making all kinds of movies where all Marvel Studios has to worry about is their movie,
Right.
is the Marvel.
Their heroes.
Yeah, the hero stuff. So I wonder if that kind of comes from the Warner Brothers behaving more like a traditional studio in that sense.
And I kind of wish that they would break it up, kind of like how the CW shows have their own panel.
Yeah.
I wish that, if it's a 2-hour panel, the first hour is focused on Warner Brothers,
Right.
and then the second hour is DC Films. To have Jeff Johns come out, moderate the hell out of that panel, bring out all those actors and stuff. Like, I think for the audience today, I think that would be a much more fulfilling experience.
Yeah, especially because I think our even though Disney owns Marvel, I think the audience perception is Marvel
We're there
versus
for the
DC,
Avengers.
not Marvel versus Warner Brothers, and not even Disney versus Warner Brothers. It's just give us our Marvel, give us our DC.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about the rest of the DC universe. There's so much DC stuff sort of floating around out there that we could get updates on. There's Batgirl, there's Nightwing, there's the Batman. What do you guys want to see? We could get some weird Flash news. There's so much stuff up in the air with DC.
I think that if it's a 2-hour panel, they break it up and they spend 30 minutes on Ready Player One and Blade Runner, and then we spend the next hour on DC stuff. If they break it up evenly into 2 half-hour sections on each movie, then we may not get a whole lot. But if they spend 20 minutes on each of those movies, then there could be a good 25 to 30 minute chunk at the end where they do kind of what they did last year, where they brought out the directors. Now some of those directors have changed. We lost Rick Famuyiwa, we lost Ben Affleck, but they could bring out Matt Reeves, they could bring out Chris McKay, who's doing Nightwing, they could bring out David Ayer, who's doing Gotham City Sirens, and I think they should, if all the deals are done, they should announce that Patty Jenkins is coming back to do a Wonder Woman sequel.
Yeah,
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's apparently something they're looking to try and
That's how you should cap it off.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's your big closer. Is you bring out Patty Jenkins, everybody applauds, good night, and thanks for coming.
Is Comic-Con the place that they could announce like the new director for the Flash, like trot him out?
I think so. I mean, and because of the fact that movie has been pushed back so many times, if they came out and they said Zemeckis is doing the Flash movie, I think there will still be cynical people who are apprehensive and will go online and say like, well, he'll be there for a week and then he'll leave again.
Yeah.
But I think to bring him out to Comic-Con, like I think bringing out Rick Famuyiwa and Ben Affleck last year got people really excited about those movies. And I think if they did it again this year, it may sort of put people at ease a little bit. Or if they brought some sort of a slate, maybe not even have dates, but just show all the emblems of all the characters. Like these are all the movies we're making. I mean, the new DC Films intro that's before Wonder Woman,
has everybody.
So dope.
Yeah. I'm also holding out that hopefully we might get some, because at some point they're gonna have to cast Green Lantern. Those movies are happening. They're coming out.
Taking them long enough.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this would be a good time to, if they like, hey guys, here's our Justice League. Oh, by the way, here's our Green Lanterns from the Green Lantern movie too. That'd be amazing.
I would here's what I want from this is what I'm thinking pizzazz for DC. I would love them to say, ladies and gentlemen, the new Green Lantern, and for Ryan Reynolds to come out and just be like, oh, and run.
Oh, wrong franchise.
I have a whole pitch about how I think that movie should start with the parademons coming from space and they fight the whole Green Lantern Corps, and Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan is a part of it, and he crashes to Earth, and as he's dying, his ring goes to find Jon Stewart, and then we move on. And we move on from it. It's like,
done.
hey,
You know what? You get in that Q&A line at Hall H and you pitch your heart out.
There you go.
So let's talk a little bit about the rest of the Warner Brothers panel. Probably no Pan sequel announced this year.
Oh, man.
I feel like that's a personal attack on me.
Shucks.
But we do. Sorry, I just like making fun of Pan when I get a chance. We do have Blade Runner 2049 and Ready Player One, which are going to be big presences at this.
I don't care, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm a little. Here's why. I cannot wait for Blade Runner 2049. I love Denis Villeneuve. Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling are awesome. Roger Deakins, great. They just put out the trailer yesterday. What are you bringing to that panel that's going to be unique?
That's
The
fair.
movie.
If that's the
screen
case,
movie.
then
Bring
hell
the movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all in. But if they bring out that cast and they do a Q&A, great. I love those. They're really insightful. Not everybody cares about them. If they bring maybe a behind the scenes reel, like a 5-10 minute reel, or maybe if they bring 10 minutes of the movie, like I'm all for that. But if you're just going to show the same trailer that we got on Monday, then I'm like, what was the point of the panel?
That is interesting. That's almost, especially in that weird no man's land between D23 Infinity War footage and
Right.
Comic-Con starting. That's a weird place to drop something.
Right.
Yeah, I'm interested because I'm more interested about Blade Runner 2049 than I am about Ready Player One. I know there's a lot of hype about it, but it looks like a lot of nostalgia porn to me, and that's not always my like. That was the one thing that kind of held me back from like loving Stranger Things. Is it felt kind of more based on like, what, the 80s amazing? It's like
It's fine. You hate your childhood. It's okay.
Yeah, and so I'll be interested to see like maybe there will be a trailer for Ready Player One, and that'll turn the tide for me. Like that'll because the first image looks cool. I'll be interested to see how they turn that premise into a movie.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of how I feel about Ready Player One. And I'm
Yeah.
excited that Spielberg will be there.
Yeah. I would
don't
do
know
a
if that's
Hall
his
H camp
first
out
one.
to listen to Spielberg
Yeah, I don't know
talk.
if that's his first time there. If it is, then I'm super excited.
what
to
if
be
they
there
had
for it.
Spielberg stay on stage and they're like, oh, he's staying because he's directing this DC movie?
That would be.
I don't know. Like, he's
And then,
directing The Flash.
Ryan Reynolds comes back out like,
and I'm in it.
Yeah. He's directing Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds.
That'd be super
Well,
interesting.
guys, the one thing I do know about is Comic-Con is coming, and the three of us will be there together, hands in the middle,
California burritos in tow.
on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yay.
Yay! Guys, we want to know. We're very tired. Comic-Con, a lot of prep going on. Guys, but we want to know, what are you hyped about to see the DC Hall H movie? Our producer just lost his mind. Love
What are you hoping they reveal in Hall H for DC?
Yeah, thank you, Adam.
Who do you want to be Green
What do you want to
Lantern?
see? Who do you want to see play the Green Lantern? What kind of razzmatazz do you need from the DC to sell you on the future of their movie universe?
What if they flood the whole Hall H with water and they watch it underwater in honor of Aquaman?
And Jason Momoa shows up in costume.
Bingo. We did it for you.
Guys,
there you go, Warner Brothers.
make sure to like and subscribe. Be nice to each other down there. Signing off. My name is Joe Starr. That's DJ. That's Adam. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, the new Samsung Chromebook Plus, for sponsoring today's episode.